Throughout history, royal families have claimed descent from gods, angels, even dragons. But one of the strangest and most enchanting claims comes from a French noble house that insisted their ancestor wasn't a saint or a hero, but a mermaid. Her name was Melusine, half woman, half serpent, or fish, depending on who you ask. She built castles, bore kings, and cursed those who betrayed her. And if the legends are true, her blood still flows through the veins of real European royalty. This is the tale of Melusine, the mermaid who may have mothered monarchs. The story begins with a woman named Melusine, a fairy from Avalon. She fell in love with a mortal king named Elinus, the ruler of Albany, what some say is now ancient Scotland. Melusine bore him 3 daughters, Melusine, Melior, and Palatine. But when Elinus broke his promise never to look upon her during childbirth, Melusine fled with the children to a mystical land. As they grew, Melusine learned what her father had done. In a fit of rage, she and her sisters trapped him in a mountain. When Melusine found out, she was furious, not because Elinus was innocent, but because her daughter had taken justice into her own hands. As a punishment, Melusine was cursed. Every Saturday, she would transform from the waist down into a mermaid, forever. Years later, a nobleman named Raymond of Poitou wandered through a forest after a hunting accident. Lost and grief-stricken, he stumbled upon a radiant woman beside a spring. Her name? Melusine. She offered comfort and a proposal. She will marry him and grant him prosperity and power, but only under one condition. He must never see her on a Saturday. Desperate and enchanted, he agreed. Melusine made good on her promise. She conjured entire castles, the Chateau de Lucien among them seemingly overnight. The couple had then 10 children, each gifted, but strangely deformed. One had a lion's paw, another had a cyclopean eye, but all were noble, strong, and loyal. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. Raymondin, pushed by relatives and growing suspicion, eventually broke his vow. He spied through a crack in the door on a Saturday. What he saw horrified him. Melusine, his wife, was bathing, but her lower half was fully transformed into a glistening mermaid tail. The next day she confronted him, and with that scream that echoed through the halls, she transformed into a dragon, circled the tower she had built, and vanished into the air. Legend says she still returns, silently, whenever one of her descendants dies. So how does this mysterious, shape-shifting mermaid connect to real royal families? It starts with the House of Lucinin, a real noble family in medieval France. They ruled territories in Poitou and even held titles in Cyprus and Jerusalem during the Crusades. Far from hiding the tale, the Lucinens embraced it. To them, Melusine wasn't a curse. She was a founding mother, a symbol of power, mystery, and a divine right. The legend spread. When John d'Arras wrote down her story in the 14th century, it became part of the myth, part political propaganda. John d'Arras was writing for John, Duke of Berry, a member of the French royal family who claimed descent from Melusine through the Lucinians. His version made her more Christian, noble, a misunderstood magical woman who was betrayed by men. The House of Luxembourg, which gave Europe multiple emperors, also claimed Melusine. Through intermarriage, the story reached the Plantagenet kings of England. That means Henry II, Richard the Lionheart, and later Henry VII were allegedly descended from Melusine. To them, the connection wasn't just a curiosity, it was legitimacy. Melusine symbolized ancient blood, magical origins, and divine favor. And her image, sometimes a mermaid, sometimes a dragon with 2 tails, became embedded in family crests and castles for generations. But let's look at this. Was Melusine real? Probably not. There's no archaeological evidence, no verified records of a woman building castles with magic or birthing dragon children. Instead, she fits a long tradition of what folklorists called supernatural wives' tales, where a mysterious woman marries a human man under strict conditions which are inevitably broken. Variants of this myth appear around the world: Silkies in Scotland, Swan Maidens in Norse lore, and Naga brides in Asia. Interestingly, Melusine's image, a 2-tailed mermaid, still appears to this day. And yes, you guessed it. One famous example? the Starbucks logo. While not directly linked to Melusine, it was inspired by similar medieval woodcuts of sea spirits, possibly including her. Her story has inspired literature, music, and even ghost sightings. In some versions, she still haunts the ruins of Lucinen, watching over her cursed bloodline. So, did a mermaid really give birth to kings? Historically, no, but symbolically, absolutely. Melusine's legend was more than just a fantasy. It was a political tool, a mystical badge of honor, and a haunting reminder of how much power stories can hold. Royal families rose to the throne claiming bloodline with Melusine, and to them, this was not just a story. This was a great power control. It controlled for the kingdom and the people, and to let everyone know they were, and still are, powerful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed diving into today's mystery, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Martini Mysteries for more deep dives into the strange and unexplained. I post a new video every Saturday, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop. Got a theory or topic you want me to cover? Leave me a comment below. Your idea might be the next mystery we uncover. Until next time, stay curious.